What's up, everybody? Hey, hey, everybody out there in the chat. We have Comics Bear. We have Mark Anthony. Hey, Mark Anthony. Let me see here, Mr. Hellstorm 74. Hey, buddy. Got artwork coming to you, sir. Let's see. All right, Humphrey Bear. Yeah, I knew I was forgetting somebody. Here we go. He's getting Comics Bear and Humphrey Bear. Andrew J. Hey, what's up? Can you guys hear me? Everybody hear me out there? Just let me know in the chat because that's the okay. Andrew J says audio is good. Yeah. All right. Sweet. All right. Cool. This is just going to be. First of all, I'm glad to see you guys. Part of this stream is just going to be me kind of explaining to you guys what happened. That's basically why I wanted to address you guys. First of all, I don't really have my setup just yet. What you're seeing right now is a page from DragonGuard. Let me see if I can move this around. Unlike my other camera setup, I can't move my camera very well. So it's kind of just as close as it's going to be, you know. So I have to move the page around a little bit. What you're seeing here is a page from DragonGuard I'm working on tonight. Cool. Gary Shipman is also live. Hey, Nighthawk Warrior. Yeah. Well, I didn't plan this, so hopefully this won't be too. Well, I only say hopefully because I didn't know Gary was streaming. So if he's streaming, hopefully I won't intrude into his stream too much. I just want to get a quick heads up. Basically, what happened, why I stopped streaming or why I had to stop streaming was, as some of you guys know, I was streaming off site from. I wasn't streaming at home. I was using my fiance's work because basically, here's a couple of things. One is the area that I work in is kind of small. I don't have tons of money, as you guys have probably figured that out. And the place I work from is really small, my studio setup, and it's not really conducive to doing live stream. And also, if you guys had seen on some of my streams, my dogs, when I did try to stream from home, our dogs were incredibly loud. We have 4 Chihuahuas that are they're small. One of them's a teacup Chihuahua. I don't know if you've ever seen those, but they're really, really tiny Chihuahuas, like fit in like. Well, they make the joke that it fits in a teacup. It's actually a little bigger than that. But anyway, they're mouthy little dogs. Comics Bear says plot twist: Kevin is Mexico after fleeing the law. No, nothing like that. That's also another reason I didn't want y'all to freak out why I had dropped off, or if it had seemed if I had dropped off the face of the earth. You guys can still catch me on Facebook. Preferably not Facebook. I'm not enjoying Facebook as much as I am Twitter, which is really odd because I thought I hated Twitter. I do kind of hate Twitter, but Twitter is a necessary animal, necessary deal to have to deal with, you know, to try to promote. Let's see. Try to get some of those shadows off the page here. Anyway, my desk is a mess. But anyway, what had happened was back in right around June. Hey, trusty sidekick. Basically, what had happened was right around June, the place where I was streaming from, which was my fiance's work, where she works at, it's one of those things where it's very casual. And I'm not on the lam. Stop saying that. You're going to get people freaking out. You're going to think I ran off with your money. No. What happened was I'm trying to be delicate in way of saying it so that it isn't a big. I don't want to jump. I don't want to rag on anybody. I'm still kind of furious the way a moth went by. Um, the way the situation happened. Um, but basically, right around the time around January, they were having trouble. They were reopening. Um, Not Warrior, yeah, I know. Gary quit Twitter. But basically, what had happened was eventually I'll get you the story. I know I'm sitting here reading the chats. I apologize. Anyway, right around in June, when everything seemed to be going well, um, the owners came to me, and long story short, they came to me, or came well, actually they didn't even come to me. They came to my fiance and asked her for me to not come by anymore, because just out of the blue, they were like, "Hey, he's not social distancing," um, which I still to this day don't know what the hell that means. As far as I know what social distance is, but I still don't understand where any of this came from. But basically, I'm trying to help. I'm really trying to handle this delicately. But they asked me not to keep coming by because I wasn't. Supposedly, they had heard I wasn't social distancing, and that besides it being a whole bunch of privacy issues and things like that, really. Uh, R2D2 for life. Hey, what's up? Um, they'd asked me to stop coming by the shop. I wasn't social distancing, and what's really weird or laughable about that is nobody was wearing masks. Nobody was wearing, they were, uh, they worked with my fiance, and they were kind of like, hey, you can't come around here because we've got a 4-year-old at home and we don't want to get COVID, which is, I'm cool. I totally understand that. I don't want to endanger anybody, but I don't have the COVID. I've never suffered from it. So, it was just really weird. We were just trying to figure out, because obviously I told my fiance, they do know we're together, right? You know, if they're worried about me having it, it's very bizarre, So because she works there, and obviously she's with me. I mean, and all that entails, you guys get it. Comics Bear, a bunch of Keterans. Yeah, exactly. And so it soured me on that whole deal. So I just told them, I won't be around. That's fine. But here's the problem: we have an extra room at our house. It needs some work. Sheetrock got tore out. We had a big boxer and Labrador mix, and we kept him in a room when it got really cold, and he tore out large swaths of of drywall in the room. So there you go. That's it tore out large swaths of drywall in the room, and I'm not I'm not. One of us is by electrical outlet, so I'm not a carpenter. My dad is, but my dad lives like 3.5 hours away from where I live, roughly about 3.5 hours. So it's harder to get that stuff working on. But anyway, yeah. So we were working on that. I'm working on trying to get that fixed up so that I have a room to stream from, and it isn't, in the living room or whatever, and that there won't be a lot of noise and stuff. So, R2D2 for life, HGTV with Kevin, free demolition. Yeah, exactly. So it's just a mess. You know, it's just kind of a mess. What happened was a mess, and it's been racking my brains because I've been missing Mike and all the crew on Drawn and Quartered and Friday Night Auctions. But the book's got to get done. So we're sitting here, and you're seeing right now while I'm here on the stream. I guess I'll talk and draw while I'm there, but the problem is I can't really move the artwork around that well to where you guys can see it. But anyway, so I'm working on this. This is one of the pages from DragonGuard. It's kind of a spoiler. I don't want to tell you any details. Yeah, so Nighthawk Warrior, don't ask me any details, dude. Anyway, I have another page or two to show you guys. I can't get to it right now, but it'll be an update tomorrow. I'll put an update on the Indiegogo page. So we're doing good. We're at 43.8 on the Indiegogo right now. So we're doing cool. I want to thank you, everybody. Oh yeah, that's another thing I wanted to get into. Okay, we all know that right now Mike is having an issue with potential shadow banning. I don't know exactly what's going on. I mean, I've been following enough of it to know that it looks fishy. I also know that for me, and I'm saying this is for me, when I search for comics on Indiegogo, Mike's campaign comes up in the search for me. Now, I don't know if this is maybe something to do with the browser like Safari, or maybe there's something with the algorithm. But Mike's comes up for me. So you guys tell me if you see anything weird. Hey, thank you, Mark Anthony. I see you out there. Appreciate it, buddy. Dark Admiral March here. Hey, buddy, you've got artwork coming to you too, man. Everybody, I've got a few things I got to get mailed out, so you know who you are. And Andrew J says shadow banning is social justice distancing, and I've managed to send out some artwork to some people, and I'm trying to do a little bit every week. I know Miggs. I've got something for Miggs. I got something for Jeremiah Jones. Awful Redneck Gaming is in. Hey, buddy. Yeah, well, see, our Awful Redneck Gaming, I'm browsing. Here's what I want to clarify. I am looking for comics. And for me, I'm on a Mac. And for me, on all my iPad and my Mac, Magnificent 7 comes up in the top couple, like when it says like search more, if I hit that once, it's coming up. So it's like, it may not be the very top of everything, but it comes up the very next, search more or whatever, whatever it is to browse through the next thing. And, yeah, Trusty said, Psychic says, I haven't had any problem seeing Mike's campaign. Yeah. So for me, I just wanted to clarify if it helps. I've seen Mike's campaign show up, so I don't know why. But I will tell you this. Off of Redneck Game, yeah, I hear you, man. I know for me, DragonGuard is not coming up. Now, I know our campaign is slowing down some. And, I'm not, understand the phrasing. What I'm trying to say is I understand why maybe that is, if it's slowing down, it doesn't show up as easy. But my campaign is not showing up past plenty of campaigns that haven't done anything. Campaigns that failed or campaigns that didn't even make any money, and it's still not showing up in the search. When I search for DragonGuard under comics, I can't find my book. Now here's the obvious thing. If I do type in DragonGuard, of course it comes up, but there's something weird going on because I can't get it to come up in any of my searches under comics when you actually go in there. Mark Anthony says their DragonGuard is closer to the top now. Their algorithm is all over the place. Yeah. I actually, oh, there's Seven. Hey, Seven, how you doing? Okay. Here's the thing. I actually contacted Indiegogo, and because I was having the problems. And the guy at Indiegogo sent me an email back saying that, hey, you know, if it's not showing up, it may be because your campaign isn't doing well. And he said, you know, maybe you need to promote. His basic email was, hey, you need to promote your stuff more, or maybe you can get friends to tell the word. You know, he gave me a really generic kind of response to why it's not doing, or it's not showing up, you know. Yeah, Mr. Hellstorm 74, that's what I'm saying. Something doesn't seem to click for me. Something doesn't sound right. And here's the thing. Mike was just on with Adam Friended and some other guys talking about it, and he got into a debate with Ethan. And Ethan's asserting that, oh, it's just because your comic is, he's telling Mike, you know, your comic is got Soros in it. Your comic is, they don't want to, yeah, R2D2 for life. Yeah, exactly. I said the same thing. I said the same thing, buddy. But anyway, he just got off there with, and I'm paraphrasing here because I don't want to put words in Ethan's mouth, but roughly he told Mike, hey, you got Soros in your book. You're implying that he's a pedophile. I don't know where he got that from. I don't know. I didn't see anything in the pages myself to imply it. But even if what Ethan is saying is true, is that they didn't want to incur the wrath of Soros, then explain to me why my fantasy book isn't showing up in the algorithm. Explain to me why my fantasy book that doesn't have any politics in it, just badass art, why isn't it showing up? And my book is doing better than Mike's. I mean, you know, comparatively speaking, I'm talking about the time I'm trying to give, you know, hey, Mecca McCheese, what's up, buddy? Glad you dropped in. But my point was is with Mike, when I say that about Mike's, I'm saying that the numbers, I'm talking about the numbers right now. I'm sure Maga 7 is going to do fine, but what I'm saying is, as the numbers stand right now, why is mine not showing up in the algorithm? So Mark Anthony says it's there. It's just down there a bit. Looking on iPad right now. Okay, cool, man. So anyway, that was the response I got from Indiegogo. I find it was generic and very. It wasn't condescending. I don't think there was anything meant in it. It just was very hands-off, very generic in the response, and I just don't understand. Even if what Ethan or anybody was saying was true, then how can a fantasy book with artwork and stuff, really cool artwork, and it's a fantasy book that's non-political, takes place on a alien world, how is that, you know, how does that fit into that explanation? So yeah, Dark Admiral on March Hare, that dog won't hunt. Exactly. R2D2 for life says, I wish I was not doing. Yeah, I know, man. Exactly. Completely agree with you. Yeah, exactly, Mr. Hellstrom. Yeah, exactly. It seemed to drop off. Yeah. And I know mine is in demand. Oh, shoot. Sorry. Apparently a moth made his way in here. Anyway, more searches for dragon, specifically the higher it shows up in now. Ah, okay, Sky. Okay, well, I'm glad to see you in here. Cool, man. Thank you. Well, that's something I didn't know. So if that is true, then maybe it does. Maybe it does have something to do with that. Then okay. Good. I mean, I'm learning every day. I'm open to it. Like Mark Anthony says, Mothra. Seven says Cryptogore haters. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, um, the moth wants to be in your book. Yeah, yeah, I'll throw it in there. Um, anyway, I'll tell you what. I'll try to draw while we're here. I was looking at the chat and kind of went off on my own tangent. But anyway, I just happened to hear that stream with Mike and Adam friended, and then what is that, Deadwood Dale or somebody maybe, and then Ethan came on, and I was worried that was going to devolve into something, uh, but as it stands right now, going on what Ethan was saying, and I have no reason to doubt Ethan's explanation per se, but it didn't seem to track for my book. There's nothing particularly controversial unless you think, badass artwork and a fantasy book on in the style of 80s cartoons is somehow controversial. So, just something to think about, something to consider. But anyway, no big deal. But I just wanted to talk about that. I figure while we're here, I'll let you guys see how I'm drawing the page. Like I said, for everybody coming in, oh man, we got like 16 people in, 10 people thumbs up. Thank you guys. Dark Admiral March here. I'm trying to get my buddy to back your book, but he's hesitant about crowdfunding, so I'm going to back another copy and give it to him. He loves Thundercats, so I think he'll do this. Hey, thank you, Dark Admiral March here. Yeah, I understand the whole skeptical about crowdfunding. It's just, here's the nature of it. Maybe it's something I could tell people that are maybe new or maybe lurking. I don't know. The nature of the business, especially right now, because, geez, I haven't even talked to you guys as much about it, all that stuff with the virus and stuff. But anyway, the way it's hit Diamond comic distributors, if you happen to be listening out there, comics are taking a hit as it was with sales. They're not bad, but there were a lot of tricks, a lot of gimmicks and things like that to sell books. And the industry isn't as healthy as it could be. And with crowdfunding, we have this cancel culture thing going on. We have editors, writers, people that think that, I don't want to say anything like comics aren't for people outside of comics. I don't want to make that argument. I'm just saying that there are some people from the outside that hadn't been long established pros that sort of waltzed in and kind of thought comics should be this, and we're gonna make things in our own vision for things, and we got to have this social justice thing going on, and we have to have this diversity, inclusion, not nonsense, but overreaction. Maybe that's the best word to say. An overreaction to what they thought comics was, and they had no damn clue. There's been hundreds. I mean, I can't even count them. I can't even give you all their names of diverse creators. How many places out of like the Philippines, Brazil? How many houses of artists are constantly being hired by the big two that aren't American artists? So anyway, the point is there's been this overreaction, and there's been this kind of cancel culture thing against anybody they don't disagree with, these writers, editors, whatever. And so crowdfunding has just kind of been the main option. It's the next evolution of self-publishing, and it's only the real option for people who have a different mindset. If you happen to be conservative, if you happen to be just somebody's just tired of the BS, for that matter, it doesn't even have to be politically motivated. You're just tired of the BS. It's one of your main options. Um, and as with a lot of people, good intentioned people, sometimes they slip up or whatever. They've had people, because basically you're becoming a publisher off. You hit the ground running and have to learn some of these things. So Dark Admiral March here, I would tell your friend, it's like, hey, um, as far as my book goes, I'm just trying to make this the best thing. My motivation with this book is if I die or if I just drop out of this business, this is the best thing I could possibly put out there. This is the best thing I've ever done. I want it to be the best thing I've ever put to paper. And that they can, this is a book you can have fun with, and there's no political agendas. There's no allegories. There's no sneaking in some kind of subversive message in it that's political. It's just a good story. So, R2D2 for life. Yeah, I hear you, Dark Admiral March Air. Yeah. R2D2 for life. As far as the pencils goes, right now, we're looking at a roughly, I want to say, was it 43 pages? 43 pages in. So we're working. I've got Alonzo. I got him. We should be posting another page of colors too. I wanted to excite you guys about that. So I'm working on it. I'm trying to balance out the inks and the pencils, and then I've got a couple other things going on there. Oh yeah, that was the other thing. In June, I had a problem with my medicine. Some of the diabetes meds that I was taking. I don't know I know some people might know about this. I know I spoke to Mark Anthony about this, but I had an issue with the R2D Food for Life. Yep. This might actually be page 44, I think. Reason I'm saying I think is because I jumped around in the story. This is actually, if I tell you what page this is, it gives away kind of it, because this is very spoilerish as it is. I had this on the table before I decided to live stream. So yeah, Mark Anthony. Yeah, honestly, I think people aren't really so much worried about the politics. They think they're concerned about actually getting a quality product in a somewhat timely fashion. Yeah, exactly. And so that's what we're doing. That's, like I said, wait till you guys see this. There's going to be some cool stuff. I'll be putting up a few more pages. But anyway, like I said, in June, what happened back in June was I got a notification from my healthcare provider that the medicines I was taking there was some kind of high concentration in what's it called, metformin. You guys, if you know anybody with diabetes or happen to be taking it, you might be familiar with metformin. But metformin, they had a high concentration of a certain ingredient, or it was contaminated. And so there was a recall on it, and it was the extended release. Not, there's certain types of it, and then there's the extended release. And what happened with me was I get really bad stomach issues like diarrhea, things like that. I know you guys don't want to hear that, but I'm trying to explain the best way I know how. What happened was, as I'm taking the extended release, it was easier on my stomach. Instead of, it would release through the day slower. And so I had that, and I happened to be taking the one that was recalled for cancer. Um, it was recalled because of a potential for cancer causing some kind of cancer causing agents. So they put me on a new medicine. Long story short is the medicine didn't agree with me. I started having reactions again. Um, I had something similar happen with the insulin they gave me last year. Um, Long story short, I started having reactions really bad where I was starting to get sick. And one problem I really had last year that I thought I'd gotten over was vertigo, which is you get really dizzy. Really, you feel like you're going to throw up if you get too dizzy. We had kind of deduced that it was down to an inner ear on the left side of my head. And that we had figured that out. There were certain exercises you could do to kind of fix the imbalance in your ear. I know it sounds weird. I didn't even know that either, but there's actually exercises for how you lay your head. You have to do it, really weird stuff. Anyway, you guys, oh shoot, I'm sitting here drawing and you guys can't see the art I'm drawing. Okay, here we go. Let me put this up here and see if I can get you on screen. There you go. So anyway, long story short, they put me on new medicine. I didn't agree with it. And part of June was trying to figure out what was going on because I was having my blood pressure. I've already got high blood pressure as it is. And it was aggravating my blood pressure and making it go high again, even while I'm taking my medicines. So anyway, that also was kind of a big part of June. I kind of had a miserable part of June there for a couple of weeks because I was mysteriously getting sick and couldn't figure out why I was getting sick. But anyway, so I'm off those meds. We're waiting for the companies to start releasing the cleaned up version of metformin, or the safer version. I know Mark Anthony's probably thinking, dude, he's butchering all of this. Yeah. Anyway, hey Draken, how you doing, man? Yeah. So anyway, the comics bear says Plot Twist Kev is a generic superhero or genetic superhero. Okay, there you go. Anyway, R2D2 for life says $5 confirmed for that page. Well, that's the thing. We've got a tier with our original art on it, so there you go. Yeah, and anyway, this kid's hair is going to be it's going to be a little bit different. It's just kind of it's messed up. Yeah, hard to explain, but basically, I'll go back and erase it and fix the hairstyle. I'm just kind of talking and actually tuning out and stream of consciousness kind of stream here. So anyway, so forgive me. You guys have been on stream with me before. You know I'm kind of all over the place sometimes. Anyway, so we weren't going to make this very long stream. I just wanted to kind of touch base with you guys, let you know that I still am here. If you guys are wondering, it's like, hey, where's kind of the push on DragonGuard? I apologize. What had happened was where I was sick for a good part of that later part of June for a couple of weeks. It really threw a wrench into everything that I kind of was wanting to do promotional wise. Alonzo's got some more artwork he's going to send me, so we'll post some more artwork, at least with the colors. Alonzo was through a little bit too. I imagine it can't be easy for him with his mother passing and stuff. So so we're both kind of rolling along, even though I had a few hiccups there with me getting sick. But the plan is, because I know I gotta figure I'd let you guys know, is the plan is I'm going to try to get it back to streaming and promoting the book like live as soon as I can. I set up in here just because I wanted to. I went too long without being able to talk to you guys. Because I miss chatting with you guys, showing you artwork and getting in here. And tomorrow I'm going to post an art update on Indiegogo, I think, at some point. I'm not sure what time of the day, but it'll definitely be done. And we're going to post at least a few pages. Get this page and some others in there. And just let you guys see. You know me as far as letting too many things go or letting too much info go. There's already a lot of info in these pages that I'm drawing right now. But I missed you guys. If that's the best way. Update the stretch goals on the IGG. You're almost at 45K. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Mix, what's going on, man? DragonGuard matters. Free Kevin. Kevin lives. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, R2D2 for Life says, I am taking a break from Twitter and Parler for a few days so I don't develop high blood pressure. Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. Yeah, I got myself a little too. The riots and the protests and whatever you want to say they are. Yeah, I got a little heated about that stuff too, man. So I totally feel you. Sometimes it helps to just take a break from that stuff. I actually was telling somebody else earlier today that she needed to kind of take a little break from internet drama and stuff and get her bearings back. And I think it's good advice for everybody, including myself sometimes. But Mark Anthony says, I've come to like my daily dose of Twitter stupidity. See, that's the thing. I like doing silliness too, man. But I had made a promise not to get involved in Twitter drama, and if I was going to do Twitter, because I held off. Those who don't know, I held off doing Twitter because I was like, dude, it's just a cesspool of arguments and stuff and this and that. And when I got on there, I was fine, and then I started to see kind of people just kind of slag Mike, and I was definitely not enjoying some of the dumb attacks and things like that. I didn't have a lot of patience for it. So, but otherwise, I love posting stupid stuff. I like posting dumb gifs or gifs, whatever you want to say. Just post, funny stuff. Yeah, Humphrey Bear and Micah. Yeah, I know. I know exactly. Dark Animal Marcher says diabetes is no joke. Yeah, I'm trying to work that out, man. Dude, oh my God, man. June just sucked in the later part because I bought new glasses, and I had made sure that I had marked everything because those who don't know, I have a very large cranium, and I had marked off the large pair of glasses. So the place I ordered the glasses from, dude, they sent me 2 pairs of the wrong size glasses. So my eyes are getting weaker. But luckily, I did get good news when I originally got the exam that they weren't going as bad as fast. You know, the degradation had slowed down a lot, so that was a good thing. But brand new glasses, they're crap. It was such, oh my god, I can't even tell you the dumb stuff that just happened towards the end of June, and it was so frustrating. Because I'm kind of one of people that don't know me. I'm one of these people that has dumb stuff happen to them in waves where it's almost unbelievable how much kind of BS just kind of just when it happens, it happens, you know. um, like when it rains, it pours. It would just. I'm just one of those people that just like when things happen, it really does happen. You know, it comes down. So anyway, um, so June sucked. We're back in July. I'm trying to get my bearings and get caught up and all this other good stuff. And so DragonGuard, I've got an ending worked out. I've got my script ready. I'm having fun. Some good stuff is happening on that, and I've had a couple of retailers ask me about what kind of packages I can make available for DragonGuard. So I can say something like, I mean, you know, they're just inquiring. You know, it's not like I've got a contracted deal or anything like that, but I've had a few retailers contact me and say, hey, what kind of deal are you going to put in the tier? Can you put a tier or a perk for retailers? So as soon as I can contact Mike and kind of get his deal. Who is the DragonGuard? Exactly, Humphrey Bear. DragonGuard, in case you're checking in, you got the 16 thumbs up and the 12 people in here in the chat. DragonGuard is a fantasy book on a faraway planet when an ancient evil arises. A group of mystic warriors must find the foretold sword bearer, who happens to be the humble son of a blacksmith. And from there, adventure follows. So there we go. Without giving too much away, I don't want to spoil it, because if you happen to be jumping in, one of my pet peeves about the modern movies and things like that is they tend to give you away everything in the trailers. When you watch movies with trailers, they give away so much of the story. And I've got the story written. I've got kinks worked out now. A lot of good stuff. I'm very happy with the way I've figured out some of the story points, little things that were bugging me. We've got names for some characters now. I won't say what they are just yet. Jeremiah Jones. Hey, Jeremiah Jones. I was telling everybody. Oh, wow. Curious 2A. Yeah, Curious 2A says, laugh a lot. I think I miss fighting people coming from Mike the most. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the chat just for a second. Yeah, Dark Admiral Marshall. Yeah, sometimes things will be edited and cut out of the movie, but that'll be in the trailers, and you're going, "What the hell?" Oh yeah. I mean, as a movie file, as somebody who loves like DVD extras and things like that, I think it's fun, but yeah, it's also annoying. And it takes away from the movie for me. I don't want to be shown. I've told you guys, or some of you guys, and I mentioned it before. The audience, I don't take the audience for idiots. I don't. The audience can figure these things out. They'll see things and they'll make conclusions, and the next thing you know, some of these people are smart enough to figure out what's going on. And it's so hard to bring, maybe not even surprises, but just bring something to the table you weren't expecting that it's lost. You know, it's kind of one of those things where it's so hard because everybody wants to show everything, and a lot of people could put those things together in a film, or God forbid the film isn't all that great, and you've seen the best scenes in the trailer, and you know, um, I want comics to you know to be fun again. You know, my book is just it's action adventure, and there's some really cool big old fights, but there's story, there's heart. I'd like to think. Um, Speaking of heart, I wanted to give a shout out to Brian Shearer, who's uh, Gunship Thunder Punch uh, is starting to trickle out and get in people's hands. And I just got my copy. So, Brian Shearer, if you're out there, I got my copy. Thank you, sir. Um, I backed. Brian is one of my buds who is in Tsunami Studios. Now, with the convention scene, we don't get a chance to see each other that much since the convention scenes are pretty much null and void for this year. Um, but yeah, I picked that up. So keep a lookout. If you happen to get Gunship Thunder Punch, man, Brian is sending it out there for you guys. Okay. And I believe he's frantically working on issue number 2. Um, let's see. RGGD for life. Yeah, I'm reading reading the chat here. Comics Bear, Gunship Thunder Punch. Comics Bear says it's great. Brian is top tier. Jeremiah Jones. Brian is great. Yeah, man. And Mark Anthony with the hand sanitizer. Okay, everybody that hadn't joined in for the hand sanitizer joke. What is it now? A month and a half ago, something like that. There was a hand sanitizer in the console of the car where you keep your drinks, and I happened to put the bottle in there, and we're at the hospital. Things were going crazy because stepson injured himself. We're at the hospital, and I was sitting outside in the parking lot with my daughter, and hand sanitizer was in the console next to my drink. I happened to pick up the wrong thing, not thinking, and I drank hand sanitizer. So everybody that hadn't seen that yet, that's what happened. Jalapeno milk, hand sanitizer. Yep, exactly. Yeah. It wasn't too much though. It sucked. It was nasty, but it spit it right out. No damage done. Uh, but yeah. Anyway, so here we are. We're working. I'm trying to get this page on. My camera can't. Whoops. My camera can't articulate very high, and so it only gets a small amount of the page in frame. But anyway, oh yeah, last bit of, oh yeah, I'll throw this out there, be a fun bit of info. I know he's not in the chat. I know he's not in the chat right now, but everybody give a shout out to Tommy Graphite. He was the one that won the inside back cover of DragonGuard. Tommy Graphite will be Mark Anthony can't take you anywhere. Yeah, Tommy Graphite, I'll be posting. I'll just post it. I mean, I'll let you guys know since you're here and you're my peeps. Tommy Graphite, I'm gonna let him know. that he won the art contest to be on the inside cover. So I'll contact Tommy Graphite, get his piece, because he did a wonderful kind of profile shot of Aetheron, and I'll see if maybe he wants to kind of get it all kind of wrapped up, and we'll put him on the inside cover. He'll be the inside cover artwork for DragonGuard. So. Eric Hawkins, good to see you back. Yeah, thanks, man. I'm good to be here. Right now, we're just testing out the waters. I can't say that I'm going to be streaming a lot right now because the place we're trying to work on getting it the drywall fixed in the room that I'm going to be streaming from, where it's a little quieter, it's a little more controlled. But I will be streaming, okay? And we'll try to see what I can. It might be erratic for the next couple of weeks or few weeks, possibly a month. I don't know. It just depends on when I can kind of work with my dad and get him down here to get an idea of how we're going to get this room fixed. Because some of it involves the electrical wiring in the room. But it anyway. Anyway, Mark Anthony says sheetrock, mud, primer, paint. Yeah, exactly. But part of it's near a outlet, and he can handle electrical work better than I can. I know zero about electrical work. As you can tell, I can barely work a computer. Let's see. Humphrey Bear, Nighthawk needs help setting up his webcam. Dark Admiral March here, drywall finishing. Don't miss it. Yeah. Black to brass saves your. I got you. You know a little bit of it, sounds like there, Mark Anthony. There you go, man. I'm going to have to figure out something special for you, Mark Anthony, Jeremiah Jones, and Miggs, because I've noticed you guys have been some fantastic supporters of the book, and so I got to figure out a way to kind of do something special for you guys as a thank you. Everybody out there, yeah, Dark Animal March here. Yeah, hey, Nighthawk Warrior, we're doing good. Yeah, Dark Admiral March here. I used to, a long time ago, this has been a while, but I used to go with my dad when I was younger, I guess when in my teens. I used to go with my dad to his jobs and help him a little bit on the construction sites and stuff. But a lot of that stuff I didn't retain, I guess is the best way. Anything he was showing me, I kind of, there was a time there I just didn't have anything to do with it. So I lost a lot of that, any kind of being around it and picking up any kind of information. So I woefully not as knowledgeable as I'd like to be, or knowledgeable, I should say. But anyway, but as you can tell here, we're doing some DragonGuard pages. Hey, thank you, Mary Jeremiah Jones. Thank you, dude. Free pizza. Oh, free bear. We're talking about pizza, I see. All right, cool. Well, guys, I just wanted to jump in and let you know. Hold on just a second. You're going to give me a hug? You need to get in bed. All right. Love you. Sorry. Anyway, that was my daughter. I just wanted to basically point it. If you come in, we got 15 people watching, 18 people like. Thank you for the thumbs up. If you're watching, I just wanted to give everybody a little bit of an update, touch base, let you know I didn't head for Tijuana or something with your money or anything like that. And you know, let you know why everything changed for me. It kind of hit me a little bit out of the blue. Long story short, I was streaming at one place. It was a good setup for as while it lasted, but I was asked not to come back there anymore. So that's because of the coronavirus, because it's a lot of goofy things going on. Long story short, it's done, whatever. And so I'm trying to figure out a new situation, a new setup. You know, action figures. Action figures, be damned. Anyway, anyway, Dark Admiral Marcher says I'm going to call it a night. Have a good one, everybody. Good talking to you. Seeing you in the chat there, Dark Admiral Marcher. Glad, man. Everybody that's out there, yep. I found one, and I was like, you know, this was the best likeness, and had the other figures were kind of the Mattel line. The traps were horribly done, so this was like the one that actually looked right, you know, or at least close anyway. So I have it sitting here, and this one is one of those ones where you can. It's a model. Let me see if I can get you on camera. There we go. This one you can actually pose them, and they're all skin, so you kind of, if I needed a pose or something and I just needed to do it real fast, boom, 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 it works. Mark Anthony says, not muscular enough to be referenced or you can't. Yeah, I know. Anyway, there's Skeletor. Anyway, but everybody in the chat, it's a little wonky. I know I'm rambling a little bit. I have to get used to talking to you guys again in long stretches. But thank you for checking in with me. DragonGuard is being worked on, and we're having fun. Nighthawk Warrior, is the clothes on removable on the female figure? Yes, they are. If you're interested, Nighthawk Warrior, this particular posing figure, it's called excuse me, TB League. T as in Tom, B as in boy, TB League, and they have like all over skin, and they've got a metal frame, you know, a metal frame inside, and they're posable. They're the 6-inch scale or the 1/12 scale, I guess you want to say, bigger, and they're just good for poses and things like that. They're better than the drawing dummies that you get at you know, the wooden drawing dummies you get and stuff, or that you see at like Michael's or Hobby Lobby or something like that. They've got, you know, pretty good you know, as far as it being a physical form and good for reference, they're good for reference. Let me see if I've got, hold on, I'll show you guys. They have, all right, I'm going to get real boring here. I'm going to do nerd stuff, okay? But since Nighthawk Warrior asked, And I don't know if R2D2 for Life is still in, but if he is, hold on. R2D2 for Life, you might recognize this physique. It's very reminiscent. It's modeled after a certain somebody you like posting gifs of. But the great thing about these is a lot of them in the poses are correct. The skin, maybe not that shoulder exactly, but if you need lighting, things like that, they actually, the joints, I know this is real goofy, but these are some of my drawing models. The joints, the skin, all moves really easy because they've got this metal. You can see it right here. They've got a metal, like a steel skeleton inside, and then they have just this thing. So they, everything kind of moves. You can see the back. Boom, boom. Now it comes with butt crack. There we go. But anyway, those are just like, instead of the wooden posing dummies, these are much cooler. Anyway, I highly recommend them. They're, as far as something where you can keep some understanding. They're really accurate. The delts, biceps, a lot of these things look good. They may not react perfectly, but compared to a wooden dummy, like a posing dummy, if you're doing it for reference and things like that, they're much better than the wooden dummies anyway. So yes, no fake. Yeah, actually, hold on for a second. So they kind of, all right, here's the heads are packaged separate on them, but if you notice, whoop, got a little shift here. All right, there we go. If you notice, if you were to look at his proof, or at least his silhouette, if you look at the shape of his face, he looks like somebody we know. The shape of the face, but then if you look, well, let's see if the camera will focus on him. It may not focus, but anyway. It's got the shape of somebody's face and then another actor in the actual face there. So, and Nightheart Warrior, yeah, I would say so. The body is Arnold's physique. If you go look at some of the Mr. Olympias back when he was competing when he was younger, this is modeled right after his physique. I mean, it's obvious those are Arnold's pecs, uh, delts, things like that. So anyway, so yeah, and then if you look at the ends, it's actually, see if it'll focus. I don't know. I'm probably moving around too much for it to focus. Well, it's got Stallone's. It's got Stallone's features, but in Arnold's, head shape, that kind of thing. Yeah. So anyway, but it works fine. Like you can get, uh, you know, shoot. There we go. Eventually, I'll get the camera situation, but it's completely fact. The point is, I'm trying to make is it's really flexible. Um, they come with multiple hands, so if you need poses, it looks far more foreshortening. It's so close to the camera, that's why it's doing the weird foreshortening. But as you see, it's straight on Arnold's body. it's it's unmistakable that that's Arnold's physique. If you know anything about it, his build, look, analyze his build and things like that. That's pretty much Arnold. So anyway, all right, yeah, that's what I'm saying, Seven. It looks kind of like Stallone's face in Arnold's head shape, you know? Yeah, so. But anyway, it's a good. I recommend it as far as a good drawing dummy. Instead of getting those wooden dummies, you guys know what I'm talking about. The anatomy's pretty on point. Um, as you can tell right now, you can get good shadows on the body and things like that. So uh, everything kind of looks good, you know. So anyway, as far as drawing dummies, these are pretty cool. Alrighty. Anyway, that's my artist talk for you guys. I know it's a little bizarre, but anyway. Um, yeah. That says yeah. Yeah, exactly. Mark Anthony. Yeah, yeah, something like that. Yeah, exactly. Um, so I don't know. I don't see R2D2 for life in here right now, but in case he left. Um, anyway, guys, I'm meandering and being silly. Um, it's getting late, but I wanted to thank you all. Thank you for not freaking out. Thank you for checking in with me. Just know there was a bunch of things that happened right around the 1st of June, maybe it was middle of June. Had to do with my health. It's still on. The health thing is still ongoing. We're trying to figure out the right medicines for me. Um, but as far as the streaming things, that's what's going on. Some of you guys knew I've talked to Mark Anthony and a few other people, and you know, that's what's happened. I figured I owe you a little bit of an explanation. That's nobody. There's nothing. Excuse me. Nothing going on with me and Mike and drawing streams and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong there. Honestly, it was just the point of I could not set up yet. Um, so that's pretty much it. So I'll try to be peeking in on Drawn and Quartered and maybe the auctions as soon as I can. First and foremost, it's the book. The book. Now that we're in in actual production mode, um, I guess one of the things you got to understand about me is that when I do my stuff for like Marvel and DC, I have to focus on the artwork, and I usually kind of tune out any other distractions because sometimes my ability to focus gets messed with. You got kids, you got school, you got the pandemic, and you got kids staying home from school, so all that good stuff. But you guys have been awesome. I know I'm scatterbrained. Thank you for putting up with me. And keep your eyes out. I'm obviously going to be showing you more cool stuff. And and that's pretty much it. So I'll let you guys know when I can stream. This has been a good test stream. We went a lot longer than I thought it would. Went so long, my mouth's getting dry. And everybody, thank you so much. Glad to hear it. Glad you wanted to come in and see me ramble for a little bit. Got a lot of thumbs up. 7, good seeing you, buddy. Nighthawk Warrior, Draken, uh, Mark Anthony. We had Jeremiah Jones. We had Miggs, um, Comics Bear, Humphrey Bear. In case I don't get your name, if I missed you, I saw you. I enjoy you being here. Everybody out there just watching, hang in there. We got a whole bunch more DragonGuard coming. Lots of cool stuff. Mark Anthony says, drink some hand set water. Laugh out loud.